Yes. Are you saying me personally or the whole team? I Well, so my first one was, I think, 2011, so down in Australia. Um, and I would say over the years, just watching over the years, the guys have gotten a lot closer. Not necessarily like the same guys over and over again, but like I'm just saying that the actual team element, the team environment, has shifted a lot since when I first started. I know that it's improved dramatically, especially when Ernie kind of took over, changed the flag to the shield. And then we had Nick Price as well, who was a great captain. But I've missed the last couple, so it's nice to be able to get into a room and have guys very passionate about trying to win the cup, which is, I think, back in my day, maybe not a lot of the guys were probably bought into the President's Cup is what I'm seeing now, and myself included. Like I felt like I probably could have done a little bit more, but it's nice to be able to sit in those team rooms, hear the guys talk. The tournament's improved dramatically since I first started. The way that when you walk into the player area, having the locker rooms, everything like that, it's just it means so much more now than what we had before. So.
What message do you want to send, especially before the first day?
Yes.
Knowing the crowd, the nerves can be present,
Yeah.
knowing how important the first day can be.
Yeah.
Who's on the other team.
Yes, it's going to be interesting. I mean, obviously, I feel like this is probably the closest home game that I've played in front of, because when we go down to Australia, I think they're just so excited to see everyone because we don't get a lot of golf down there, like especially the big names. Canada's obviously so close to the United States, and there's that like friendly rivalry between the two countries. So it's nice to actually feel like we have like an actual home crowd, which is nice. And I don't think I've ever felt like that before in the times that I've played. So it is crucial for us to get off to a good start, but I think they're still going. I'm hoping that I get to play come Thursday, but we'll leave it up to the captains to see who they pick, and I know that whatever they pick, they have a lot of faith in those guys to go out and get the points. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah. I've talked to some of the guys. I mean, on both sides. Now, granted, it's been a little bit. It's been around a lot longer, but you can tell how emotional they do get when you talk to them about it. You talk to the Europeans how much they want to beat the Americans, and like there is that rivalry there. You can tell, and you can hear it when they talk about it, and that's both sides, American and versus Europe as well. So I feel like that. The way that like the guys look at it, I think that's shifted. I think they're very driven and passionate about this tournament now. Like if you I'm looking at Ben and Tom now. Like there's guys that like the young guys all the way to the top guys, and like when you have experience like Adam Scott, you hear him talk. I think this is his 11th one, so he's been on the losing end of those for quite a long time, and I think you can hear how much he wants to win one, and I think it'll only take one. If we can get one, I think that'll change the tide a little bit. I feel like we have a tremendous team right now, from top to bottom. In the past, I'm not sure if the numbers kind of stacked up as well, but like this week I think the guys are more than prepared. Like we had guys play Napa, and we had guys playing the BMW last week, so that's a lot of commitment to go over and play the European Tour and then obviously come back this way. So guys are ready to go out and play. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's more of like having the appreciation of having the opportunity to be able to go out and play. I think in my younger days, I didn't really look towards the President's Cup as something that I wanted to play in because it's such an individual sport, and like I never really cared too much to play in the President's Cup because all I cared about was playing on the PGA Tour and trying to win. And, you know, obviously the Olympics kind of opened my eyes a little bit to know that it's a little bit more than yourself. So to be a part of the President's Cup team, look, if I play one match, I'm going to do the best I can. You know, I'm just here for the team to try and support them the best I can. If they play me 5 times, then I'm ready to go 5 times. I don't care how much it is. So, you know, I just see the difference in the team room and how much the guys care. And when everyone's kind of pulled in and playing together, and they're all pulling towards a goal, it makes you want to go even further too for the guys. So it's nice to have a team of guys that are like willing to go that extra mile.
So you finally figured it out?
Finally figured what out? The what? The President's Cup?
Yeah, as in, no, your motivation is you spoke about the Olympics, how you became
Yeah.
matured, right?
I don't know if I've matured. I just think back when I first started out, like I was pretty gung-ho about it, and I felt like that, you know, there were some guys that just didn't quite, you know, have the drive as much as some of the other guys. And when not all working towards a goal, then it hurts. And then like you fast forward to some of the other ones, I didn't have as much drive as some of the other guys, and that kind of hurts the whole team environment. You know, you got to have all the guys like pushing towards that goal of trying to win the cup. And I think with what we've got now, from the experienced guys to the rookies, like you can just see it in our group text, you can see it in our talks when we have, you know, the captains come and talk and the guys talk, like that they want it really bad. And when people want something really bad and the urgency's behind it, like it's really hard not to be in that team environment and not want it with them. So that's kind of what I've understood over the last, you know, cups that I played. Well, I said that, like, you know, I never really watched the President's Cup. It was like the Olympics when I first heard about the Olympics. It's like I'm trying to be as open and honest as much as possible, because I could come up and give a very politically correct answer, and I'm not going to do that. I feel like I'm just dancing around you know, an answer. But so I really wanted to play in the President's Cup. You know, my first President's Cup, I was excited. I'm not sure the team environment was as passionate as we have now. That kind of hurt my drive to like want to compete, because I'm like, well, if some guys aren't wanting to push, then what do I need to push? And that happened when I wasn't as driven in like Korea. You know, I wasn't as driven there to compete. And I think that hurts in team environment. So I can't be, you know, saying, hey, you know, these guys didn't drive and then I'm doing the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Like come, you know, a couple of years later. It definitely opened my eyes when I played the Olympics and how much it means more to just playing the game of golf and what the game of golf has given me. And then obviously seeing the guys and how they are, that definitely opens my eyes to like wanting to play as hard as I can for these guys. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I believe so. I mean, the US team is very strong regardless. You know, every time they play the Europeans, you know, every time they play the Ryder Cup, they're very strong. Every time they play the President's Cup, they're very strong. We know that from the get-go. I think what Ernie Els, Nick Price, Ernie Els, Trevor Immelman, and Mike AQUÍ have done tremendously is build a team environment for us to get behind and drive and have that passion. And I think that's the one thing that we were potentially lacking was potentially that. And I think since those guys have really changed the environment and what we play for, I think that's helped a lot. Whether we play well and win this week or not, we know that we're stepping in the right direction. It's going to happen at some point. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. I think that, like I said, this team is very strong. I like the way that the guys are, how they're interacting with each other. We've become pretty close in a short period of time, and we seem to say that every single President's Cup, but it seems like there's a lot more there behind it. You know, and I'm just saying, like, all the feelings of it, the emotion of it is different.
So I've done a lot of Davis Cups over the years.
Yes.
It's like a group of guys from one country. So
Yeah.
almost, you know each other since growing up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's like we came up and had a scouting trip, and we played like little games like what we did today. You know, we played alternate shot, potential matchups and what the teams were going to be potentially, and we go out and play. Guys are supporting each other, and it's just like little things. Like we get away with the team. We have dinners during the year. We have practice rounds with each other during the year. So it's just kind of building that that emotional attachment to each other and trying to drive that. But like I said before, the teams. It wouldn't be where it is right now without what we've had, the leadership that we've had. You know, like with Ernie, Nick Price, Trevor, Mike Weir. You know, those guys have really changed the dynamics of how we look at the President's Cup as a team. And that's kind of, when you have leadership showing, hey, this is what we're doing and this is where we're pulling, you know, it's very easy for us to all get in line and, you know, start following. What? That was like 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, foursomes, you know, that's usually the tough one for us. But main challenges, I think just trying to like just get out there and just do the job we can. You know, like just we're all trying to do something. Like there's no apologies if you go for a pin and you went for it. You got to go out there and just try and compete and play the best you can. You know, just get stuck in your own game, own mind. Don't worry about what they're going to do. The Americans they're veterans and they got veteran leadership, so they kind of come from an old school mentality with like a new school look in regards to their players, and it seems like they know how and what to do when they either, you know, do something, say something. How like they're able to play the game a little bit better than us, and I think we just got to kind of just stay in our like lane a little bit and not try and pay too much attention to it and just play. My last one, where was it? That's bad, isn't it? Well, I missed the last two, so I've got the worst memory in the world. Where was it? Liberty. Oh, yeah, the fans. It was quite interesting, getting heckled everywhere you go. Like there's been I don't usually say a lot to fans. That was 1 week where I've said a few things multiple times that weren't too great. And then usually it's the Sunday night, or we had Sunday night. We got smashed the Sunday night, and then we got smashed again the next Sunday night. So it was just those are usually the ones that we remember. We definitely party a lot better than the other guys, I feel like. So yeah, yeah. The team. Known Minas for a while. I remember meeting him back when he was still an amateur and a junior. Very, like, unbelievable game. Like, obviously, I feel like I've said this to him point blank. I said, dude, you got all the talent in the world to be the next best player, number one. And I think he's finally understanding that there needs to be, like, a certain work ethic that comes with that and a certain lifestyle that comes with that. And I know that him and his coach have been working very, very hard. His caddy Stu's been working hard with him. His whole team environment. I think he's starting to understand what it takes to be the best. And I think, you know, he's still young. Hits an absolute mile. He's got a tremendous game, really good short game. I think once he starts to develop some of the other things, he's not scared of it. That's a great thing. Is that like he's mentally tough, which is nice. So I've got a lot of high hopes for Minas. Yes, just real quick. Yeah, real quick. We went and watched them. We met. We didn't meet the whole team, but it's just surprising how small you feel when you're standing next to some of those guys. It's actually funny because, like, when I was number one in the world, David Savard used to play for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and like he walks out, and I'm like, "Freaking Savard's here!" I didn't know that Savard was playing here, and we both look at each other through the glass. We're like, "What the hell are you doing here, man?" But it was nice to be able to see those guys. I mean, it's amazing that their mentality going into it, that they're doing like it was. We were in the owner's box, so when you walk through, they're coming out of the locker room, so you're watching them like standing there and pumping themselves up. Like, we're in a game where we're trying to like bring everything down, because if you get too hyped, you can't play well. It's very difficult to play from that, and they're in there like jumping up and down, screaming at each other. So it was really interesting to see that dynamic. I mean, it was pretty impressive to go through the Bell Center and all that stuff too. Yes. 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 Oh, I mean, it breaks my heart. You know, just especially his brother as well, and then obviously his sister, and you know what kind of a weekend they were going to have as a family. And then obviously the announcement of his brother was having a baby, and then obviously he was going to have another one. So it hurts my heart, and just goes to show it doesn't take much to just make a mistake. At this day and age, I feel like you can just call an Uber, you know what I mean, and just get home safely. And unfortunately, the guy made the wrong mistake by driving. So, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Unfortunately, not. But I knew of Johnny. But yeah, just silly mistakes. Just end? They won 10 grand. So it happened again. So Smitty is Mike Weir's good friend. He's a local guy here, and he was helpful in getting the President's Cup here in Montreal. So 2 weeks ago we played, and we just played individual, and I cleaned up the money then, and it was first, second, and third. So I was lucky enough to get 5,000, and then I think Siwoo and I can't remember who the other one was, but there was like 3 others, so it was 5, 3, and 2. And then today, Tom, Kim, and Minners picked up the 10 grand.
What's the game that you played? Was it 14 through 18 or something else?
Yeah, it's 14 through 18.
Just play your own ball?
No, it wasn't. It was alternate shot. So we had alternate shot, like we were playing. We played the 14th hole, and everyone hit driver, and we played it horrifically. So we went back and played it again with the irons, and everyone played it better. So I mean, obviously stats are stats. When you're looking at the stats guys, they say, hey, get it up there as close to the green as much as possible. And stats are funny, man. Like it's hard, because like it could be Sunday and 14th hole, and stats say get driver all the way up there, but you don't know what you're feeling. You could be down, you could be, in front, so it's just kind of, so we all went back there, hit irons, they hit it on, and we played the hole much better. So that was like a good test. But like I said, I mean, Tom and Minners played great. They were 2 over, I think, through the first 2, and then came back and won. So, yes. Yeah. Whew. Are we talking like golfers? I love Roger Federer. I think he's not only, like, I was actually just talking about him because one of our guys on our team, Andre, he actually worked in the tennis world for a while, and then actually was partnered with Roger's agency, worked with Anthony Godsick, who was manager of Roger, and got to talk to him, and he's a gentleman off the court and on the court. The way he played, he was very graceful in that. So it's just like someone that I look up to sports-wise is Roger Federer. I'm sorry? I try and do my best. I have my weak moments, you know what I mean, like everyone does. I know I'm not going to please everyone, but I just try and do the best job I can. And if I can play the game in a certain way and make sure that I'm playing it for the good reasons, the right reasons, usually that kind of crosses over into like being a role model. Yeah. Yeah. Maple Leafs, Toronto, the hockey team. That. Yeah, you get me. And then Banff, I don't know why Banff, but my buddy, I've been trying to pressure my buddy into getting married, and I said I'll only go to your wedding if it's in Banff or in my backyard. So, Banff. That's it. Thanks.
Of the 12 guys, what are you the MVP of?
Me?
Yeah, your team. What are you the MVP of?
I'm not the MVP of anything. Nothing. No.
Well, who is an MVP? Whether it be energy, bring someone brings.
He brings the energy. Old Tom Kim. He brings the energy for a young guy. Brings the energy. You can tell that he loves this environment. Scotty, from the sheer experience of like being on 11 Cups, but I feel like there's just so many guys out there that are just that are so great at a lot of things. But you know, those guys, when it comes to passion and those, like, I know that you guys probably won't get the opportunity to hear Scotty in a team room. When you hear Scotty in a team room, it's pretty impressive. Yeah.
And then for you real quick, we've got two French words. They're both golf terms.
Oh boy.
We're gonna have you try to say it and then guess what it is, and then Roman's gonna say how to say it in French.
Okay.
And I'll try to repeat it.
Okay. Oisele?
Not that. Who was it?
Oisele? Oisele. That's a golf term. Toilet? I don't know. What is it? Oh, that was so far off. Tu de un coup? Trou de coup. Close. Get in the hole. Hole in one. Oh, that was pretty close. My French is terrible. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll try. Thanks. All good? Good.
Where am I going? Back out this way.